lookout starting to howl. "Ain't no blurry end to that thing," said one of the Turaks, his eyes on the oozing body of the serpent. "Quiet, Marine," whispered his commander. "It is dropping lower," said the swordsman, Hercole Stanapeth. So it was, lower and lower still, until they could no longer see the horizon beneath the loop of flesh. The farther coil was lowering too, and the creature's head was gone from sight. Then Pfiffengert hissed through his teeth. The water around the skiff had begun to boil. They were in the centre of a vast school of sharks, trailing the monster like a ribbon of mercury, packed so tight that they jostled one another, flicking spray into the boat. The sharks were slender, man-sized, their dead eyes round as coins. Thasha could feel the thump of each snout against the hull. Their numbers seemed as endless as the monster's length, but eventually the school was past, and at almost the same time the arch of flesh sank out of sight. Nothing remained of the serpent but a trail of foam. Pfiffengert and the soldiers made the sign of the tree. Mr. Balutu, the older Dlomu, began a prayer of thanks to Lord Rin. But Pazel rose carefully to his feet. Thasha watched as he shielded his eyes, studying the creature's wake. So little to him, she thought suddenly. A boy barely 17, the age she'd be in 6 weeks, dark like any tar boy, and a bit darker yet by blood. Thin arms, fierce eyes. Did he care about her any more? Did she care about him? Did it mean something, that notion, I care, I love, after yesterday? He might well have despaired. He might hate her casually as part of hating everything. The new world and the old, the Chathrand and the place she'd anchored, the frightened villagers, the savage gods. When the prayer ended, Sergeant Hadismal, a hugely muscled Turak with skin like boot leather, twisted around to glare at Mr. Pfiffengert. "Couldn't believe these eyes," he said, pointing, as though they might have been confused with some other pair. "You dropped the tiller, man. What kind of mucking pilot are you?" "The kind that brought us safe out of the Nelorok," said Hercole. "Didn't ask you, Stanapeth, did I?" snapped the Turak. "But what I will ask, once more, is what in the 9 putrid pits we're doing out here? What did you lot find yesterday that's got you too scared to let the men set foot on land? It has to be something worse than a few more of these fish-eyed abominids." The pair of Dlomu just looked at him, silver eyes shining against the black skin. Their indifference to his abuse only fueled Hadismal's rage. He shouted at Pazel to sit down, and at Mr. Pfiffengert to bail, although the quartermaster was doing so already. Looking again at Hercole, the sergeant gestured at the mighty ship that was their destination. "Just tell me the God's-damned truth. 800 men going mad with thirst, and you come back from the village with 2 little parlour casks of fresh water, and say that's it, lads, make do till further notice. What do we get by way of explanation? Nothing. Soon my men are on riot duty, though they're so dry themselves they'd lick sweat off a pig. What can I tell 'em? Nothing. And then, just to prove that you're mad as moondogs, you announce that we're going to take a jaunt over to the empty side of the inlet, so that you can run about in the dunes. What do you find there? Nothing."
"We'll be back on the Chathrand by sunset," said Thasha.
"Sooner," said Pfiffengert. "If we get back to rowing, that is." Hadismal scowled over his shoulder at the western shore, already a mile behind them. "Pointless," he said. "Why, it's just a spit of sand. Any fool can see. Hey, Mucketch, sit your arse down." But Pazel, as if he had forgotten the hated nickname, remained standing in the bows. He was looking at the waves around the skiff, and Thasha noticed that they were ragged and oddly churned.
"Sergeant Hadismal?"
said Pazel.
"Sit down! What is it?" barked the Turak.
"Take off your armour."
The soldier's mouth fell open. He raised a hand broad as a shovel to strike the youth, but the hand stopped in mid-air, and his lip curled as if with an unwelcome thought. He glanced at the other soldier, who was already unbuckling his hauberk, and it occurred to Thasha that the previous Turak commander